Hello everyone and welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney Adventures. Last time we continued pressing Giselle Brett here. I really hope I'm saying her name right. But anyway, we brought up the possibility that the victim might have already been dead at the time that he was shot, due to the burn on his wrist. And in response to that, she started speaking Japanese. So we're going to hear from her perspective on the matter. I still think she's definitely the murderer here. Let's go ahead and see what she has to say. Unfortunately, I have no idea when the poor man burnt his wrist like that. When the waiter brought my steak, the professor and I raised our glasses in a toast. As far as I've heard, the post-mortem report showed no other possible cause of death besides the gunshot. If there's some other way a man's life can be taken without leaving a trace, please do show me. But of course, this country's inferior investigative techniques probably wouldn't pick up on it anyway. What? Is she just admitting to, poisoning him or something? That most captivating and beautiful testimony will go down to the Supreme Court's history. Thank you. Easy does it. I hope that is the last time I will have to sully my lips with the coarse tones of your unbecoming tongue. Oh, forgive me. I do hope I haven't insulted anyone. Not at all, not at all. It is a delight merely to hear you speak, dear lady. And it seems very clear from your testimony that this boorish talk of the victim's burn is utterly irrelevant. I will be speaking to your country's Minister of Justice about what has happened here today. The Minister of Justice? May the irritating little bully of a student be given the harshest of punishment possible. Amen. Huh? Thanks. Was that a prayer then? Well, you have to forgive the irritation, Miss Brett, and put up with the cross-examination now. I expect you've noticed that this little bully of a student, as you put it, doesn't miss much. I'm sure I don't need to remind you, counsel, that this will be your final cross-examination of this trial. If you fail to demonstrate any problems with this witness's testimony, I will be ruling on the case immediately. Is that clear? That's not fair! What the heck? What did you just slap your face from both sides, dude? Yes, Your Excellency. Then you may proceed with the cross-examination. Why did you do that? So strange. Alright, I don't really see anything particularly wrong with any of this, so I'm just gonna start pressing. Yes. But his hand was on the searing hot plate for at least 3 whole seconds. You can't have not noticed. Do you think so? Let me ask you something. Sorry? Ever since I arrived at this courtroom, and even still now, the fly in those unsightly black trousers of yours has been wide open. You can't have not noticed, can you? Huh? What? Ah! Embarrassing. Ooh, I like that pose. Ha, what fun. You hadn't realized. The dear lady is absolutely right. As your friend, you've embarrassed me as well yourself, Ryunosuke. Why didn't you tell me? Oh man, that's great. The whole courtroom just reacting to that now. Dr. Wilson was a true English gentleman. He chose honorable silence over a vulgar scream. Can your tiny brains imagine such a thing? Oh yes, I think my tiny brain can. Why would you even say that? Well, I can't. Anyway. When the waiter brought my steak, the professor and I raised our glasses in a toast. Yes. What were you toasting? As you testified before, you were drinking carbonated water, is that right? Dr. Wilson was only permitted to drink water at that time, if you remember. Which explains why he ordered that drink. Correct, waiter? Exactly as you say, sir. Although... Whether or not the professor actually drank any of the water when I delivered the steak to the table, I'm afraid I don't remember that. Damn you. I have enough English to understand that, at least. For the benefit of others in the court, it means bless you. I think it means the exact opposite. Okay, so what she's speaking in this like a little cursive language here. That is actual English she's speaking in. Okay. I got it now. As far as I've heard, the post-mortem report showed no other possible cause of death besides the gunshots. What's up with this? Why are you acting suspicious about the report here? Yes, it's written here in the paperwork. Fatal hemorrhage from ballistic trauma. Yes. Luckily for all of us, a little burn on the wrist isn't going to kill us. And as there are no other signs of trauma on the victim's body to indicate some other cause of death, it could only have been the bullet from your gun that put an end to this innocent man's life. But it doesn't make any sense. The burn must have happened straight away, when the plate was first brought to the table by the waiter. Yes, that's true. If it had cooled even slightly, it wouldn't have been able to make a burn like that. And the victim burnt his wrist on the hot plate as soon as it was brought out from the kitchen. Then he must have already been dead at that point. And yet, the fact is that the victim was killed by a gunshot to the chest. Until you're able to show the court evidence to disprove that, this is a complete waste of time. I concur. Prosecutor Ouchie is right. Arrgh. If there's some other way a man's life can be taken without leaving a trace, please do show me. This seems like I'm supposed to present something here, but I don't have like any evidence of that yet. So I'm just gonna keep pressing without leaving a trace. If someone is shot, or strangled, or stabbed, or thrown from a height, however a person's life is taken, there are always telltale traces on the body. Quite right, dear lady. And as our police force has thoroughly examined the body of the deceased, there can be no doubt. Isn't that right, Inspector Hosonaga? As I've said, I've always aimed for a flawless investigation. There will be physical traces with all those causes of death, that's true. But maybe there's some other way of killing someone that doesn't leave a mark. Yeah, like she's like almost admitting to like poisoning him. That's what it seems like. If heaven forbid you doubt me, young man, you're going to have to tell everyone exactly how you think the professor did lose his life. Otherwise, I'm afraid your argument falls rather flat, doesn't it? Oh no, perish the thought, calling such a sweet young lady's innocence into question. On my honor, I, Takeuchi Ouchi, will cut down any who dare cast such aspersions. A way of killing someone that leaves no trace. We need some evidence to back us up here. Yes, evidence. Okay, let's press this last statement and then we'll figure out what to do. But of course, this country's inferior investigative techniques probably wouldn't pick up on it anyway. So yeah, we know that they don't do actual like surgeries on the body. They just look at it and be like, oh yeah, sure, he got killed by a gunshot. Inferior? What do you mean by that? In the lands of the Great British Empire, the police store everything found at a crime scene for later examination. But in this country, you investigate once, and that's the end of it. Isn't that so? Quite right. La Carnival is open for business as usual today, just days after the incident. Exactly. Which means that even if the investigation takes a different direction, vital evidence may be lost. What is going on here? Why do you have like a thought bubble over your head, man? It doesn't even occur to your naive detectives to try to preserve the crime scene. What is this, like, thought bubble here? I'm trying to be as tactful about this as I can, you understand? Aha! A killer blow! This lady is as formidable as she is beautiful. Amazing! He's actually admitting our police may be flawed. Perhaps Prosecutor Ouchie's finally started to see sense. I very much doubt that. Still, something about what Miss Brett just said. There was a moment before when something didn't seem quite right. What do you think, Ryunosuke? I think it's going terribly. No matter how much I press her, I'm not turning up any new information. Yes, as I suspected, she's a tough witness. We need to find a way to break her testimony, or the cross-examination will be over. But that would mean I have to find a way. There must be some clue somewhere to help us find a chink in her armor. Kazuma. What, Ryunosuke? There is one thing I noticed, something that's been bothering me. Bothering you? You mean about Miss Brett? Actually, no. Okay, so I bet this is gonna be about when Hosonaga started coughing just now. About the person standing next to her, Inspector Hosonaga, the detective. Yes, he seemed to react a little strangely to Miss Brett's last statement. I was wondering if it might be significant. If it might present an opening, maybe. Alright, I have an idea. Try pressing on that last statement one more time. If you think so, but this time, instead of targeting the woman herself, let's see what we can get out of the detective. Alright then. I wonder what Kazuma's thinking. We'll find out soon enough, I suppose, once I press Miss Brett on her last statement again. Alright. This is some new game mechanic. Hang on. Let's get to this. Can I change people here, or do I just have to press here again?
Yes.
Inferior? What do you mean by that? In the lands of the Great British Empire, the police story, yeah, we saw this before. Is this the same?
Wait.
Okay. Can I click on that, maybe? Yes! There it is again! The detective's reaction is just the same as before. Why? Hang on, I want to go back and look at the history. What triggered that? Exactly, which means that even if the investigation takes a different direction, vital evidence may be lost. Huh. What does that mean? Up until now, the detective has been in the stand with Miss Brett as her interpreter. But things are very different now. For this testimony, the detective is just listening to what the English woman has to say. This could be a golden opportunity. What do you mean? Ooh, this music. Oh man, this is great. When people are actually testifying, they're usually very careful not to let anything slip. However, when they're listening to someone else speak, you'll find they often let their guard down. You're right, look at him. He's lost in his own thoughts. It's time to pursue the man and his train of thoughts. Sorry, pursue? I'll explain how to do it now, Ryunosuke. It's all to do with the witness marker, this little thought bubble here. Yeah, what marker? At the moment, we're focused on Miss Brett, who's the person actually making the current... Yes! Okay, so this is like a new game mechanic then. Okay. I was worried none of that was going to appear in this game. But it seems like the whole double witness thing is finally, like, coming into effect here. But by moving the marker left and right with A and D, you can turn your attention to other people in the stand. While you're looking at the other witnesses, you'll be able to pursue them with space. If you can catch the person at just the right time, you might uncover some new information to pursue. If you ever notice a strange atmosphere amongst the people on the stand, take a good look around. Alright then. So first I should move, yeah, blah 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 blah. Yeah, I just heard this. Exactly, which means that even if the investigation takes a different direction, vital evidence may be lost. Let's switch to you. I want to switch to you. There we go. I had to like click on that and it's not, oh, okay. Now I can use A and D. Pursue that. Oh, excuse me! I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to shock you. He really was lost in his thoughts. Deeply. It looked like you were thinking of something just now, Inspector. Perhaps having heard what the lady next to you had to say? This is so cool. Like, I was wondering why we kept doing these double witness things, but yeah, this is... If this is going to be like a new game mechanic going forward, this is going to be super cool. Like, if we get to look at the reactions of other people at the same time. If there's something you'd like to say, please share it with the court.
Objection!
What is the meaning of this? It's the delightful Englishwoman who's testifying at the moment. If you can't find fault with her testimony, then the cross-examination should be over immediately. Oh, is that how it works? Absolutely not. The detective is in the stand, which makes him a valid witness. Yes, not to mention the fact that he's intimately involved in the case. Inspector Hosonaga. Yes. Do you have something to add in relation to the statement just made by Miss Brett? I just wonder if he's in on it or though. Like that's what I'm wondering. Like clearly she's guilty. I just don't know if he's in on it or not. And surely like his coughing blood is like related to the case too. Like why would they even do that? Well, yes, if you don't mind, I would like to speak. She's not gonna like that. The lady is right. Our country's police practices are not as modern as those used in Great Britain. Which is why I, Saduro Hosonaga, always strive to make every investigation I'm involved in flawless. What do you really mean by that? I'll tell you what I mean. I won't have evidence lacking on my watch. I'm not afraid to take everything I can from the scene of the crime. It's preserving evidence. You tampered with the scene of the crime to preserve it. I don't care if they call me a crime scene thief. I'm not ashamed of what I've done. Okay, what did you take? Well, it looks like the lady's remarks touched a nerve there. Take this, for example. Looks like a bottle of wine. Is that? Oh, it's the water. This is a bottle of carbonated water that I took to the victim's table on the day in question. And yes, it's lost all of its fizz, having been opened 3 days ago now. But it was carbonated water. I don't care what anyone says. I'm not doubting you here. Yes, there's some left in the bottle. I can see it. One day, our police force will be among the best in the world. The time is coming. I guarantee it. Wow, this guy's really passionate about investigating. Dude, are you alright? Like, how are you not dying, coughing up all this blood? I can't say I could condone the witness's actions, but I do understand the sentiment. The court will accept the glass bottle of water as evidence. Okay, so what does that being, like, half full mean? Miss Brett. Can you confirm this is indeed the bottle from which you drank on the day of the victim's death? How should she know? Like, she can just lie about that. Okay, well, thank you for saying that. Yes, it was that bottle. What was that about? She seemed to avert her eyes when she answered the judge's question. Very well. Counsel, you may resume the cross-examination. And the inspector will kindly control his fervor. Alright, we gotta examine this. Hang on.
Yes!
I didn't want to press that. No. Hang on. Let's skip through this, please. Yeah, I don't want to talk about my fly anymore. Let's see here. We can look at him, yeah. Oh, can I not play it while it's not looking at him? Okay. Interesting, okay. Okay, I want to go to the court record with E. I want to look at this. Carbonated water, the victim, Ms. Brett, shared on the day of the murder. It was on the victim's table. Let's examine that. Let's first start with the label, I suppose. The label is written in a foreign language that I don't recognize. It's English! Do you know what this says, Kazuma? I think it's... Oh, it's French. Okay, whatever. This must be very expensive water. Yes, but what does it say? That's what I was asking. Go to France and ask. You could just say that you don't know. Okay, let's examine the back of the bottle now. So this carbonated water is the last drink Dr. Wilson ever had. It looks like there's a little left in the bottle, although it's just plain water now. You know, I've been sweating so much, I'm absolutely parched. Just have a sip of this to keep me going. No! Ryunosuke, you can't do that. For one thing, that's evidence. You can't go drinking evidence. Oh no, you're right. We don't know what might be inside, do we? You never cease to amaze me, Ryunosuke. More ways than one. I wonder, could there be anything in this water? It's poisonous! What's the matter? You've gone quiet all of a sudden. I think I might have just worked something out. An interesting possibility. Maybe the cap is something to examine. Hang on. Is this something I can examine here? Okay. Does the marker like change color? Oh, hang on. When there's something to examine. Yeah, it seems like it changes color when there's something to look at. Okay. So, current hypothesis right now is that this is poisoned. So maybe... Hang on. Maybe we present the bottle on this statement and just say, it's poison! And she's gonna say, no, it's not poison. And then we're gonna say, no, we'll drink this to prove it. Let's try that out. What is this? The bottle of water? Actually, there is one method of killing a man without leaving a trace that comes to mind. Obviously, I'm referring to poison. Poison? On the day of his death, we know that Dr. Wilson drank from this bottle of carbonated water. Could it be if there was poison inside? Could it be that the professor actually died after taking a sip from his glass? Yeah, she's gonna say no, and then we're gonna say, well, drink from this to prove it. It's gonna be amazing. Order! 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 And on that day, who was sitting at the same table as the professor and able to slip the poison into his drink? There's only person who could possibly... That's gotta be a typo, right? Yeah. There's only one person who could have possibly have done it. Giselle Bretz, it was you! Oh, here we go. The music's back on. This is outrageous! To suggest that such a thing without a scrap of evidence. You little rookie imbecile. Have you even considered the delicate situation our country finds itself in now? Have you forgotten that we only have just signed an accord of friendship with the British Empire? Have you even the vaguest inkling that your rash accusations could jeopardize the entire treaty? Objection. I'm so sick of this argument from you, dude. This is not a political arena. This is a trial to determine one individual's guilt with respect to one crime. What? The fact that this woman is British makes no difference. We are here to determine the truth. Grr. Ahem, if I may. I will silence you forever for this disgraceful... Oh, dang. Just gave him the old shut up. It is you who should be silent. Of course. Dear lady! Where did that come from? She just snapped. I'm afraid I may have spoken unfairly before. I offer my most humble apologies. I'm sorry, my lady. To what are you referring? I described your police force as inferior. But no matter how inferior they may be, you still investigate this particular point thoroughly, I believe. The bottle, I mean, Inspector, and whether it contained poison or not. Of course. It wasn't the bottle that was poisoned, though, was it? It was the glass. And that's why the glass was in her bag. It makes sense now. Have you forgot what my guiding principle is already? I strive for a flawless investigation every time. I don't believe it. Naturally, we tested the inside of the bottle and its contents. Ed? What did you find, Inspector? I ordered tests for every toxin that's available in this country at the present time. We can find no trace of poison of any description in the bottle of carbonated water, Your Excellency. What? Are you sure? The tests were meticulously carried out by the chief coroner himself. No! No! Yeah, it wasn't the bottle, though. It was the glass. I'm very grateful to all you... Oh, I'm very grateful to all you Japanese. You successfully established my complete innocence in this horrid affair. Thank you. But of course, dear lady, the pleasure was all ours. I was so sure. This can't be right. Everything falls into place if he is poisoned. Thank you, counsel. I think that cross-examination has clarified everything. As the prosecution have asserted, a shot to the chest from his gun is the only conceivable cause of death. Furthermore, the accused, who by his own admission was holding this weapon, is the only possible culprit. Done for. You see, it doesn't matter, because before, right, we were saying that it doesn't matter that she could seal the glass, because we thought the cause of death was the gun, but now we're saying the cause of death was poison, so now her concealing a glass is suspicious. Come on, Ryunosuke, put that together. The court wishes to apologize for the great inconvenience this has caused you, Miss Pratt. No! No! Oh no, I'm just glad the matter is resolved. Before proceeding, I must ask the counsel for the defense. Do you have any further new evidence to present at the court at this point? Kazuma? I'm sorry, Ryunosuke. I have nothing more. Well, if you'll excuse me now, I really must be leaving. Dude, stop hunching over so much. Who said that? That was probably that girl. I don't know her name. Please wait! Isn't that... What is the meaning of this? Forgive me for intruding on court proceedings, Your Excellency. Susato Mikotoba, Judicial Assistant to the Defense. Mikotoba? In my darkest hour, with nowhere left to go, she appeared like a bolt of lightning. In her hand, she carried a small package, wrapped in a furoshiki cloth. Dude, why are you so poetic all of a sudden? And how far is this gonna zoom in? Okay, there we go, it stopped. To be continued. Save your current progress. Heck yes, I will. You know what, this might actually be a good place to stop, methinks. You know, if we're leaving it off on a to be continued. It might be a little short, but I think that's for the best. So that past few episodes have been a lot longer than I would have wanted anyway. So yeah, guys, I think I'm going to leave it here for today. I hope you enjoyed. Sorry it is a bit short. But yeah, next time we'll pick this up, see what this new package is being delivered to us here, like a bolt of lightning, as Ryunosuke put it. So yeah, I hope you guys have a good day, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye!